Just in the news, a couple of other things here I wanted to mention, and then I'll pick up your phone calls here on the other side of the bottom of the hour. Mackenzie Scott, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, just donated $133 million to a nonprofit that works with K through 12 schools across the country. It's called Communities in Schools. I mean, it's a wonderful thing that she did this. But why do we live in a country where we have to rely on billionaires? She's a billionaire herself. Why do we live in a country where we have to rely on billionaires to pay for our schools or to make our schools work? I mean, she also gave $800 million to historically black colleges and universities. Again, why do we have any colleges or universities that have to rely on money from billionaires? I get it if, making a donation to build a new building or expand a college or something like that. I salute that. But our educational system is in shambles. Okay, a few other things in the news I wanted to share with you. South Florida seniors. This is what is going on with the Republican Party. They know that America just isn't that into them anymore. Americans have figured out the Republicans' games. They're only in it to give tax breaks to their wealthy buddies. They're taking advantage of the 2010 Citizens United Supreme Court decision that said that billionaires and corporations can own politicians, and political bribery is no longer illegal. It's now called free speech. So they are fully taking advantage of this. They are deeply in the pockets of the billionaire class and the corporate class, and that's it. And they of course exploit racism and homophobia and Islamophobia and any other kind of fear they can come up with. Now it's mouseophobia, with the illustrated book. By the way, I mentioned yesterday, in the book, the character's mother commits suicide in the bathtub, and the people in Tennessee are all freaked out about the fact that there's a naked woman in the bathtub. Well, what I failed to mention yesterday was that naked woman is a mouse. Mice are always naked. Anyway, this is like, next they're going to ban Minnie Mouse and Donald Duck, and, because I don't think they're wearing pants. Anyhow, in South Florida, this is what the Republican Party is reduced to. In South Florida, they're going door to door in apartment buildings where there are low-income people or elderly people, places where you have a lot of registered Democrats, and saying, hey, we're just updating your voter registration, just sign here, and you sign there, and you discover that you are now a Republican, which means that you can't vote in Democratic primaries. And which means that the number of registered Republicans in the state is steadily climbing, which kind of gives, when we discover that, hey, another Republican got elected in Florida, isn't that weird? Only, if some, 200,000 people were thrown off the voting rolls, and there were 300,000 provisional ballots passed out that never got counted among, in largely Democratic neighborhoods. How could it be that the Republicans are doing so well? Oh, look, here's the numbers. The Republican voter registration is up. I guess it wasn't voter fraud or election fraud after all. You see the game that these guys are playing, that they're setting up? This is like, preparing the field for election fraud. I really think Ron DeSantis and his fascist tendencies, he is positioning himself as the guy to replace Donald Trump, who will take down America and turn us into Hungary or Turkey. It really seems that way.